where the rain forgets to fall, a town lost in drought and memory. In a forgotten valley perpetually shrouded in a silence, so profound and ancient that it felt like an eternal suffocating shroud, lay a small, desolate town. This was a place where rain, the very lifeblood of existence, the nurturing elixir of growth and renewal, had cruelly abandoned them. Not just for years, nor for a mere generation, but for an eternity of parched earth and hollow, mocking skies. Decades had meticulously accumulated into an unbroken chain of dry days, each indistinguishable from the last, forming an endless desert of time, where not a single precious drop had ever graced their world. The sky, once a vibrant, ever-shifting canvas of cerulean and indigo hues, a dynamic tapestry of light and shadow, remained a stark, unforgiving and unchanging blue, silent and indifferent. A vast, empty expanse that offered no solace, no promise of relief. The clouds, those fluffy, ephemeral messengers of moisture, the gentle harbingers of life, had vanished, as completely as if they had been mere figments of a collective delusion, leaving behind only the relentless, scorching glare of a sun that seemed to delight in their torment. People in this town, their voices raspy and thin, worn down by the constant abrasion of dust and despair, spoke exclusively in whispers. Their words, like their very souls, were dry and brittle, devoid of resonance, mirroring with painful accuracy the cracked, desiccated soil beneath their weary feet. Each utterance was a testament to their quiet suffering, a hushed echo of a hope that had long since withered into nothingness. Hope itself, once a vibrant, gurgling spring, had not merely receded, but had entirely evaporated, leaving behind only a faint, bitter residue, a lingering phantom of what once was. Children born into this cruelly drought-stricken reality with no memory of green, no knowledge of lushness, had never, not once, witnessed the ethereal magic of rain. For them, the very concept of water falling from the sky, a phenomenon so fundamental to most of humanity, was nothing more than a fantastical tale, a whimsical myth, a half-forgotten legend whispered among themselves, a legacy passed down through generations, growing fainter with each telling. Elders, their faces deeply etched with the indelible lines of weary remembrance, their eyes holding the distant flicker of a past paradise, spoke of rain with a profound, almost unbearable, wistful longing, as if describing a cherished dream from a long-vanished life, a golden age when the world had been alive with the joyous symphony of sound and the invigorating freshness of renewal. Yet beneath this all-encompassing dusty silence, this pervasive, soul-crushing, melancholic hush, lived a young girl named Elia. Her spirit, unlike the arid, barren land that surrounded her, brimmed with an unyielding, almost defiant vitality, a stubborn resilience that refused to be quelled. She was a living paradox, a vibrant splash of audacious color in a monochrome, desolate world. Ilia, though she had never once felt the tender kiss of rain on her skin, though she knew its touch only through the yearning of her heart, dreamed not in the muted tones of despair, but in the vivid, tumultuous, glorious colors of storms. Her imagination was a veritable tempest, a boundless ocean of creativity swirling with deep, mysterious indigos, electrifying blues and brilliant, blinding flashes of silver. She saw the world not as it was, a parched, dying landscape, but as it could be, as it deserved to be, overflowing with the cleansing, restorative and life-giving power of water. Her small room, a humble sanctuary within the larger desolation, was a quiet, intimate rebellion against the dry, desolate reality that pressed in from outside. It was a space where dreams could breathe, where hope was nurtured. She meticulously collected broken umbrellas, their tattered, skeletal canopies, a poignant testament to a forgotten purpose, a silent promise of a future yet to come, a future where they might once again unfurl against a sky delivering its bounty. With painstaking care and an almost reverent devotion, she painted delicate, glistening raindrops on her window panes, each translucent streak a fervent wish, a silent prayer whispered to the heavens, a desperate longing made manifest, and with a child's unwavering, almost sacred faith, a belief so pure, it seemed to bend reality. She wrote countless letters to the sky, her tiny, hopeful words, swirling upwards like unseen smoke, carried on the dry, desolate wind, bearing her deepest, most cherished dreams to an indifferent, distant blue. One day, a day that initially felt no different from any other, as the omnipresent dust motes danced lazily in the thin sunbeams, filtering through the decaying, skeletal ruins of the old town library, Elia stumbled upon an astonishing hidden treasure. It was a discovery that would irrevocably alter the course of her quiet existence, buried deep beneath centuries of forgotten stories, obscured by the accumulated sediment of time, tucked away in the forgotten, shadowy corners of forgotten shelves, a place where memories went to die. She found an old, brittle, incredibly fragile map. Its parchment was yellowed and cracked with an ancient age, its edges frayed and crumbling like desiccated leaves, yet a single word, stark, clear, and undeniably resonant, was marked in bold, confident script across its surface. Remember. This single, potent word resonated deep within her, a profound vibration that stirred her very core, a primal call to a past she had never physically known, yet felt intimately, inexplicably connected to, as if it were woven into the very fabric of her being. Guided by this mysterious, almost mystical map, by the faint, almost indiscernible, forgotten paths it illuminated, paths that whispered of ancient footsteps and lost journeys, and by the fading, ghostly memories that seemed to stir and ripple within the very stones of the town, Elia began a quiet yet profoundly resolute journey. It was a pilgrimage not merely to rediscover what the town had physically lost, the life-giving rain, the vibrant, verdant greenery, the melodious murmur of flowing streams, but to unearth something far more profound, something that transcended the material. Her quest, she intuitively understood, was to reignite the connection that had withered into dust, to rekindle the hope that had long been extinguished like a guttering flame, and to rediscover the long-forgotten, almost mythical sound of forgiveness, the gentle, compassionate balm that alone could truly heal old, festering wounds and mend broken spirits. As Elia meticulously retraced the forgotten grief of the town, each step a deliberate act of remembrance, exploring its desolate, silent corners, listening intently to the silent, haunting echoes of its past, patiently piecing together the fragmented narratives of loss and despair, a subtle, almost imperceptible shift began to occur. A tremor, faint and nascent at first, yet growing steadily in intensity, stirred in the parched, heavy air. The rain, that long-lost, almost mythical phenomenon, that symbol of renewal and cleansing, began to stir, not from the silent, empty clouds above, which remained stubbornly barren, but from a far deeper, far more unexpected source. It began to stir, softly at first, then, with increasing momentum, from the very hearts of the townspeople, hearts that had long since sealed themselves shut, encased within a hardened, impenetrable shell of sorrow, resignation, and unspoken guilt. As Elia, with her quiet courage and unwavering determination, painstakingly peeled back the layers of forgotten pain as she dared to remember, to embrace the town's collective sorrow, a gentle nascent warmth began to bloom in the cold, dry, arid places within them, slowly expanding, promising a deluge of long-suppressed emotions, a cleansing, restorative rain of tears that would finally wash away the dust of decades and heal their weary, waiting souls.